Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and we are back for some more League Racing content. We are back for Rapid Racing League. Yes, we are back once again. Happy Rapid Racing League is back. Low-key missed it over the long break, but we are finally back, and obviously, if you did not check out the last episode, please go check that out. Spoiler alert, we did secure the win in Jeddah with our nice little Aston Martin, which was a pretty good weekend. But now it is time to focus on Austria, and this is round 3 of the championship. We unfortunately did miss Spa due to obviously I did the 12 hours of Bathurst, so I was a little bit tired after. So I decided to skip that race, and now it is still realistic performance for right now. And since we're leading the championship, we've got nerfed. We got a big nerf because now we're in a kick Sauber. Yes, we are in by far the worst car on the grid, while everybody else is slightly in some better cars, but overall the cars that are not really that quick at the same time. So everybody's going to be fairly equal now, which is really well, just because, you know, obviously equal performance is, close performance, but also again the slower guys and the fast cars is what we want to see. So here we go for the first quali run, and I did a little bit of practice laps with the Sauber. I did like a full practice session, and I will say this car is not fun to drive. I did not have fun driving it in practice. I low-key hated it, and I kind of just guessed on if I was going to drive the Sauber or something else because I didn't know if they were going to chuck me in like a Williams or something like that. But since you are the championship leader, you must drive the green tractor. So we went from a really good tractor to a really bad tractor. So quite unfortunate, but so far it's a 105.1, so almost sneaking in the 104 is not a bad lap, only about a 10th off Ben Formula, who is now becoming our championship rival. Last week I did miss, I guess he did win at Belgium, so he's also been nerfed. He was in the Williams though, so now he's in the Kick Sauber. So me and him are both tied into points coming into this race, and the defending champion, My Master, did have a DNF last race, so maybe he'll post the highlights of that clip. I'm not 100% sure, but overall was I guess Spa was actually a pretty well race, and I'm sad I missed it, but we're here in Austria, which is by far a track where I'm sometimes look forward to it, sometimes not, but we've actually gone top of the session with a 104.9, so we are definitely cooking here, and there is so far the leaderboards. Obviously, me and Ben are at the top so far, really close between me and him. Scroll is in 3rd, My Master in 4th, and Kevin, who some of y'all may know on Twitch, or all the OGs on the channel, you may know who he is. He's finally in Rapid Race Lead, and Bolt458, who is currently in 6th place in the Williams. So, yeah, this top 5 is really close, and Bolt can become a big threat as well, but I think he hasn't just gotten used to this Williams, so he will eventually. Towards midway for here, we go for the last run with 22 seconds, so this is one last Hail Mary run. I think it's going to be very tight, but as we could take an approach now, we had a major snap of oversteer on that. We took way too much curb on the entry, but we are very slow down the straights, which is kind of expected, but I think we're probably one of the slowest in the straights. But so far, I mean, entering into the corners, I mean, we're getting some pretty good rotation out of the car, I will say that, which is quite rare because I didn't think I was even going to really get the best out of this thing. But overall, I mean, we're maximizing everything we can. It's very it just has a lot of understeer. I've been having to use more. I've been really just fighting the car a little bit, and I just had to steer very aggressive with my inputs. But Kevin goes P2, so he was very close to us. But so far we are still ahead. We did set a purple sector 2, so we are actually improving on our time as now approach. It is flat out in equal cars, but you can't. I don't think I can even trust myself doing it in this thing because I'm going to invalidate. Bitcoin crash checker flag now. Where is it actually going to put us? We found around a 10th, and it's a 104.825, so it's really close. And My Master goes 2nd, so that might be pole position. But I don't think it's even by a lot, and it's not by a lot. That was really close between me and My Master. They were split up by 3/1000ths of a second, so that was very close between us. Ben falls down to 4th, Kevin falls into 3rd, Scroll into 5th, and then Bolt into 6th. So yeah, Bolt definitely did struggle a little bit in that session, but I think he'll be okay. But yeah, so pole position in the Sauber, I'll take that. I didn't really expect to be on pole. I thought I was going to roughly be around 3rd or 4th. I thought I thought maybe Kevin would have got a little bit more out the Alpine. I think Squirrel probably could have got a little bit more, which I did hear that he did invalidate his lap, so he probably would have got in pole position. He probably would have got it, but hey, pole position. I'm not complaining. But let's take a look at the strategy. I think everybody's gonna run mediums to hards. That just seems to be like the best strat. That's always just been the strat though. Mediums to hard I think would be great. I think the hards wouldn't be a bad starting tire, but since everybody is so close, I think it's just better just to go with this strat. So there could be a safety car, there could not be, who knows. But 36 laps around Austria, a track where I have a love-hate relationship with. Lights out, and here we go for Rapid Race League round number 3. We actually get a pretty crappy start. We did not get a great launch off the line, which we've really been struggling with the starts. But to Rome we go, side by side with my master. My master falls behind, and he will get a massive run down this next part here. And here comes Kevin as well in the Alpine. Obviously, the Haas is a little bit better on the straights, I feel like, than the Sauber. And the Alpine, which also has got some really good straight line speed, obviously because that car is just a little bit quicker than this absolute green tractor. He moves up. Kevin moves up into P2. And Ben and Scroll are now fighting for P4. I believe they were side by side at one point, but it looks like Scroll backed out of that. And Kevin, who told me before the session, he was kind of texting me, he didn't know what car he was going to be driving, and well, he definitely said that Alpine was a bit of a piece of crap to drive. But already on our first warning, had a massive amount of understeer, and that's what I've been really fighting with in this car, which has just been clear understeer. But the setup is not all that bad. We did make a whole new setup for this race. This is not the setup that we used in October when we did last season. This is a completely new setup. I try to make the setup a little bit more to what this car feels like, because after running that setup I just couldn't really push much with it, so we went with a whole new setup. And overall it does feel a little bit better. It's just still, I probably did mess up a little bit on the wings and maybe the aero as well, but I can't achieve much out of this green tractor. But gotta fight for the lead though. Kevin goes around the outside of my master. My master lets him go. He's gonna get the DRS now. The detection line is going to be a big key, I think, in this race, because the detection line falls right before the braking zone. So if you're relatively behind, you'll get the DRS. So probably one of the more OP detection lines, but you gotta love Austria when it comes to DRS, chicken, or sharing, or all that stuff. But my master was able to get probably the best exit I've ever seen out of my life, because I can't even get an exit to save my life. And Kevin, who did fall a little bit, Kevin, who's been getting some pretty decent exits, he's been sort of struggling a little bit in the Alpine. But it is very close. Kevin's going to go around the outside of my master. Clearly we're just going to be doing some DRS sharing. Typical league strat. There's really, we're technically are fighting, but I feel like we start getting pretty aggressive towards the last of the 10 laps, because everybody's just fighting for positions and all that stuff. Apologies for the voice crack, but lap 6 now. And like, this whole race has been just consistent DRS sharing. We've been sitting P3. Not really in the mood to overtake at the moment. I just kind of want to sit behind here and just manage the tires. My mask goes down the inside of Kevin, but Kevin actually did get he did run out a little bit wide, and just absolutely had a little bit of a moment. Nothing scary, which we've been having a little bit struggling with the rear exit. We could lower the diff down to 50, but I think we just kept the diff the same. So maybe you could go a click lower, because we did tend to get a little bit of over wheel spin on some of those exits, which were not key, but what can you do in a green tractor, I guess you could say. So lap 7 now. Kevin is putting a threat back on my master, but I don't think my master will defend that. He's going to go have the inside line. Kevin's going to try to go on the outside. Kevin's got nothing to lose. He's a reserve for right now, so he's got absolutely nothing to lose for. My master, who is trying to catch all the points back up after he lost in Belgium, so obviously the defending champion, is not having the greatest start, but I think this could be redemption day for him. He goes really well around Austria. To be fair, he goes around really well around all tracks to begin with, so that's just my take. But I think this could be a good race to get his redemption arc and to really get his season going. And Kevin, like I said, he's got nothing to lose. Squirrel, he's got nothing to lose as well. He's actually going to, speaking of Squirrel, he's going to get a 2 for 1 here. What a pass. 2 for 1, and we all thought about going on the inside of Kevin, but both the Alpines playing some team games, and he goes out very wide, does Kevin, and Ben has a 3-second time penalty, so our rival is definitely not loving this car at the moment, and I do feel him because this car absolutely is terrible. But you know, speaking of this, my master could run away, but Scroll did get the DRS from my master, so that's actually really well. Which, if we let my master run away, we would have to really consider some DRS sharing. But Scroll's going to go around my master as well, and we're going to possibly go around the outside of Kevin as we go around the outside fairly tight and fairly clean as we go around the outside, defending the inside line. Like I said, Kevin's got nothing to lose. Great pass by him. He does have 3 seconds worth of time penalty, so we are so far on one warning. This track does love track limits because the curbs are flat, and I'm not a big fan with tracks that have flat curves because, you know, just run out wide and it's tragic. But what are you going to do about it? MotoGP type tracks for you. And my master now moves back up into P1, and Scroll will fall down into P2. So yeah, like I said, at this point, we're just kind of chilling within this train. We're not really doing too much. I mean, we're really not in the mood to sort of overtake. We're just trying to manage the stint, but we got a massive run. Now we're going to start trying to get a little bit more antsy now. I'm going to try to get up to the front ahead of my master because I would like to see if he's going to do the undercut, if he's not going to undercut. I mean, maybe everybody's going to pit in the same lap. I doubt it because Ben's going to have to pit a lap earlier, but I'm mainly doing it because I want to get ahead of Ben, because usually it depends on what Ben's going to do, because if he's going to pit a lap earlier, then I'm not going to willing to double stack. So I'm not saying Ben could be a threat, but he, like I said, Ben's very quick as well, so he could be a threat for right now. But I think if he gets going on offense in this race, I think he can easily catch up into P3. So I'm trying to stay ahead, so hopefully I can have the preferred strategy for against my rival. But lap 13, now approaching lap 14 now. Like I said, just chilling in the DRS with my master, and even when I get close, I just can't overtake him. I'm just slow down the straight. I mean, this thing is just an absolute, it's like I'm driving a PT Cruiser down the highway. Like, this thing is terrible. But we got a massive run with a little bit of hot lap mode now, and down the inside we go. And he's going to have the DRS now because the detection line obviously is back there. So he's probably going to fight this, probably not. But we actually got a really good exit. And it's been a minute since we've actually had a really good exit through that corner. But really good one there. And he's going to sit back here. So we take the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. And so far this race has been very hectic. Probably one of the more intense races I think I've had in quite a minute, because everybody is so close behind. But pit window has now opened. We will be pitting this lap. And Ben, who is 1.2 seconds behind, so we will, if we can stay ahead, we will possibly do that, but we are pitting this lap anyways, and anything can happen. Now, Bolt in the Williams is absolutely having a horrendous day, and speaking of Bolt, he's actually retired from this session, and safety car's actually been deployed, so, hey, look at that. And we are now now everybody's gonna come in, and I guess it's the point where you can really double stack, because Squirrel is gonna have to double stack behind Kevin, and Ben's gonna have to double stack behind me, so it just kind of works out perfectly here, right here. But good stop, 2.4. No slow pit stops like they have in real life, and but we will head right back into the lead. So quite a good timing for a safety car, I guess you could say, on lap 17, because everybody came into the pit. So now at this point, we can push like hell on the hard tires, because this track does have a little bit of deg, but nothing too crazy. I think that will be just fine. But again, realistic performance, so you don't know what every car has compared to everybody else. So we know where we're strong. We're strong in the we're really strong in the middle sector. That is surprisingly terrifying, but we're really strong through there. But everywhere else around the track, we are downright awful. So we're going to try to get a good safety car restart here. And we don't want to catch, well, we kind of want to catch everybody napping. But my master was technically on that safety car restart. And here we go for the last 16 laps of this race. It's going to be very intense through the last 16 laps, I guess we could say. And like I said, I think this is probably one of the more sweatiest races we've had in a minute. Anybody within the top 5 can win this race. That is clear. Anybody within this top 5 can win this. But my master is going to go around the outside, and we will fall right behind him, I guess you could say, and just try the best that we can to just stay with him, because like I said, I think he could possibly, if he starts pushing on that car, he can probably run away, but ultimately we don't want him to run away because I think it is possible to do that if I get caught up behind with Kevin. And speaking of that, they've actually had a collision. I don't know what happened there. I think Kevin went down the inside of my master, and I don't know if they turned in. I'm not sure what happened. I would like to see a replay of that, but we need to focus on our race at the moment. And Ben is right behind us, and he does have 3 seconds, so there's really no threat from Ben. But I guess you could say maybe some teammate strategy here. And Ben's going to have the inside line, and we're going to let him go. And we're going to have the DRS through this part of... So we're going to try to get Ben on this main straight. If we can't, then... Oh well, so that's not main straight. I should say the back straight away we go. And in the DRS, we get right back around Ben. And we move up into those positions. And speaking of that, someone just went very late. And where the hell did he come from? My mass is already back up into P2. So a big send down the inside on Ben. And he made it stick. So, hey, good move there. And... that was really impressive. I wish I saw that beforehand on the back because I was really focused forward. But I was like, how the hell did he get it back up into P2? And he sends another one down the inside. And, well, he got the detection line point. So he's going to have DRS through here. So he's going to get the better run. And he's going to get right back around us. So back into P1 he goes. And, yeah, like I said, this race is just getting very sweaty. And I think anybody in this top 5 can win it. On pure pace, I mean, besides Kevin, because he's got, I mean, besides Ben and Kevin, because they all got time penalties, but, I mean, man, Kevin's got 9 seconds, so, and I will say, because I don't think we've captured it, we are on our second warning. I believe the second warning actually came from roughly the same corner, or just coming out of the middle sector, where you head on to the fast part of the track, so, we, got it through there, or it was the last sector. I'm not 100% sure if it was last corner, but lap 25, re-overtake Ben, and not Ben, my master. Jesus, I'm already botching. And well, moves us right back up. And like I said, I mean, the whole race has sort of been DRS sharing, but at the moment, I think we're gonna really start getting some more racy action within the last 10 laps, because that's when everybody's gonna want to start fighting. But I'm just trying to be more careful because obviously, if Ben falls back, the goal is to finish head, obviously, of my master, because obviously I think he's going to be a deep threat for this championship. But I want to try to keep Kevin behind and Squirrel. But my master, I think he had a little bit of I think he had a lot of understeer through that corner, and we went out a little bit wide, but nothing wrong with that. Still a fairly clean move. And Kevin is going to slot right back into third. So I don't know if I think he overtook Squirrel, but like I said, Kevin's all over us, and all over the arse of our car, because he's got straight line speed compared to all of us, I think, and we're just a rock. I mean, this thing is just terrible in all sections, and a little slight lock up through that part, a little front right for you. And lap 28 now, they're still fighting, as you can say, through there, and we made a little mistake. We probably overshot the corner a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but still very tight. My master will have DRS through here, which, see if he makes a move. I'm not 100% sure if he will. He does not make a move. I thought he was going to go for it, but he's not. So, and like I said, that middle sector is where we're really strong compared to what he is, because you can see that we gained roughly around half a second, I think, but then obviously he's able to call that time back because he's got the DRS. But I think running away would be impossible in this car, because this thing is just too much of a boat, as you could see through here. But we have a massive rear lock up there, and a little bit of a, you call it a power slide? Something like that. I want to say a drift, but that was a crazy rear lock up there. And my master got a beautiful, you can say he was in the beautiful position to overtake at that point, and he moves up into P1 again. So, man, this top 5 is close, and we got to be very careful. So right here, I believe, is when we got that other track limits warning, the second one. So we really got to start being careful, because obviously one more and that could be a race ender. And I can tell you right now, we do not want that, because that'd be tragic, and that would just make me hate Austria even more. But here comes Kevin. I thought he was going to go for it, but he's not. So lap 31, 5 laps to go. This is when everything's going to start getting very intense through here, and very inconsistent corner through there. And we have a little bit of a moment. It's a 3-second time penalty, as we just were talking about time penalties. Are you serious? We actually choked that win away as we proceed to go down the inside of my master. But man, what a What a mess. What a mess. And I don't even think my master even had a single warning through any point up into at this point, because I didn't check any of the time things. But yeah, we just fought the car at turn one, and turn one's been a struggle all day. I mean, it just had a slight moment of oversteer, but nothing crazy, and then just got caught up on the just all four tires were off the track, so time penalty was there, and quite unfortunate, because I thought we maybe had a good shot at winning this, because I felt like I could have kept him behind, but oh well, these things tragic. Tragic. And well, we do have a fresh set of 2 track limits warnings, so we can actually take advantage of that. I would not recommend that, but speaking of that, I think during that time we actually did get 2 other warnings. So one more we're 40-ounce bounce, but we don't want that to happen. But Scroll, credit to him, because he has none at all, and I don't even think my master even has any. So yeah, that just proves on that track limits can kill you, but also you just gotta hit the corners every lap, and you just gotta not make any mistakes. But my master re-overtakes, and like I say, he's just been in that position all day where he can just absolutely have just amazing pace when he can, and he's doing an amazing job, and all credit goes to him today. He did an absolutely amazing race. Squirrel could possibly get him here. I don't think he will. I think he's just too far back. This is really the last shot that Squirrel has, unless my master obviously runs out wide, which I don't think that he will. I think he'll mainly take this set and sail him, because I don't think Squirrel will even get relatively close. But last lap, and my master going to come away. Credit to him, man. My master with another win. I believe that is a back-to-back win in at this track, so credit to him. But yeah, that was really intense, and we're gonna come on P3. Not the result, but I mean, I would have been happy with P2, honestly. I would have been happy with anything, but the time penalty did not help. And yeah, so we'll take a look at a slight replay to see what happened, but we'll look at the results and podium celebration. So yeah, so yeah, I mean, that was crazy, I guess you could say, but there he goes. The defending champion wins again, and he is finally getting his season going after well, I wouldn't say, I thought he did pretty well in Saudi, but yeah, obviously getting his season going, and Squirrel with a podium as well, so credit to him, which I think this is his first race that he's actually finished the season. I think he DNF'd at Spa as well. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what happened at Spa. All I know is that Ben won, and I think those 2 DNF'd. I don't know anything else that happened, but there's your results. My master P1, Scroll P2, me P3, Ben falls into P4, and Kevin in P5. So that's tragic, ain't it? But we'll take a look at what happened. Yeah, I just didn't hit the apex right, and then we just got on the power too early, and like I said, just had a light moment of just oversteer, and that just absolutely just shafted the race. And well, yeah, I mean, like I said, turn one's always been a struggle, I'd say, for me at Austria. I've never been able to sort of hit my mark at turn one, so I had a feeling it was going to catch me out in the race, but fortunately it caught us out for a time penalty. So overall, it sucks, but we'll move on. Next race is Qatar, so it's going to get very dicey, but let's see what happens. We'll just have to keep on cooking. But that's all for me today, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good rest of your week or whatever, and I will see y'all in the next one.